How can I help you?
Hello. Nothing at the moment. I'm just recording.
Okay.
Hey, sir.
Hi.
I'm Lancaster with the Sheriff's Office. Just let you know we're being audio video recorded.
Sure. What can I do for you?
Oh, you were just in the lobby. I just wanted to make sure you didn't need anything.
I didn't.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions or anything I can help you with today?
I didn't.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask? Are you just filming for general interest or?
Go ahead and ask.
Okay. What is the purpose of you filming today? I'm just curious.
Is that a request to answer or is that a demand to answer?
I'm asking. It's a question. You don't have to answer.
Then your
You're
question.
not being detained. You're free to go.
Of
It's
course-
just
of course I'm
casual
not.
encounter. Like I said, I just wanted to check and see if you needed anything.
I didn't, and I think I made that very clear to the receptionist.
Oh, did you? Okay. All that got communicated to me was that you're in the lobby recording, and like I said, I just want to check and see if you need it.
And that's why you came out.
Yeah.
And just answer my question now.
Sure.
Since you've already relayed the information that I'm just recording, was it necessary for you to come out and
Well-
even casually ask me what I'm doing?
Necessary? No, but we're paid to be available and a resource to the community. So I thought I'd come out and see if you needed anything.
To solve crimes.
Well, among other things, yes. We get calls about all sorts of things, including crimes.
And was there a crime observed here today?
No, not at all. Like I said, you're free to go. I was just asking a question and seeing if you needed anything.
Right. But see, this is what I always like to get a proper answer to.
Okay.
Why is it that every single time that an individual such as myself, a law-abiding citizen who is simply exercising his constitutional rights, recording in a place of business, of public property
Uh-huh.
that we pay for,
Sure.
that we own,
Yeah.
we the people,
Uh-huh.
and every single time that we come out and inspect our own property, we get a very curious public official such as yourself, deputy, officer, others, always approaching us and asking us, why are you filming? What are you doing? Can I help you? Can I answer any of your questions? Why are you doing that?
Okay, that's an excellent question. I'm really glad you asked. So, couple things. First of all, I would say, like I said, our purpose here is to be a resource to the community. And even though you may not have said anything, for whatever reason, I don't want to make assumptions about why you're here, why you're not here. And if I don't ask, if you have any questions or if you need anything, then I don't know, right? Okay. Second reason is maybe there is something going on that we need to know about, right?
Such as?
Such as maybe you observed something in the community and you were looking for help and you didn't have a question or you needed something, but you were trying to get our attention and maybe you didn't feel comfortable saying something because you didn't feel safe to say something. In fact, we get calls like that or anonymous text messages or just deadline 911 calls where somebody will dial and not saying anything because, again, they didn't feel safe to do so. So, and thirdly, and I think maybe you're picking up, there is generally a just, kind of the safety concern around the building, right? When somebody's coming in and filming, which you absolutely have the right to do, and I'm not interfering with it in any way, it's just, would like to know what your purpose is, right? I've had actually at this counter bomb threats called in and other things that happen. And so if we don't show some just general, very base level curiosity about what's going on around the building, then we would be neglectful in our duties if we didn't at least ask a question. Do you disagree with that? Being as you said, this is the public's property and we're responsible to take care of it, then I should take care of it, right? Or do you disagree with that?
Here's how I'm gonna respond to you.
Okay, you don't have to answer the question. I'm responding to your question and I'm trying to engage in a dialogue. But please go ahead.
This is how I'd like for you public servants to respond to people like myself and every person that comes to visit their property,
Okay.
their building.
Sure.
When you see someone exercising their constitutional rights, and obviously they're not a threat, and obviously they're because that's exactly what you observed. It's a
Well, I didn't observe anything. I just had
doesn't-
somebody come from the counter and tell me.
It doesn't take much education or knowledge or police training to know that when someone walked in with the camera and he already had an initial contact, irrelevant with whom, but someone from your agency, from that office, and responded calmly, respectfully,
Sure.
that he is there just simply to film.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure you would agree that most people are level of intelligence to, if they need to ask a question, they would go ahead and proceed to ask a question.
This was not a commentary on your intelligence, sir.
So this is the way I would like for you to respond, beginning today, with me or anyone else in the future. When you see someone exercising their constitutional rights, you would approach them, you would greet them, and you would express your gratitude, and you would tell that individual something like this: "Sir, ma'am, I'm so glad that you are exercising your constitutional rights, and I'm here to protect them,"
Okay.
because that is your oath. Do you agree with that?
So we can go over the oath if you'd like me to pull it up.
Did
But-
you swear an oath to uphold and protect and defend the Constitution of the
Yes,
United
sir,
States?
Absolutely did. That is actually the very first line of the oth, and then
Very
the
nice.
Constitution and laws of
So-
the state of Oregon, as well as the ordinances.
Is there
and-
something
and-
improper that I stated to you in regards to the Constitution of the United States and how you should greet citizens?
Improper? No, you have a particular request on how you'd like to be addressed. I'm happy to engage with anybody on the level that they would like to be engaged with. I mean, so as long as it's lawful and within policy and all those things. So
Which it is now, correct?
Say again.
Which it is now.
What do you mean it is now?
Now, everything that I'm doing is lawful and protected by the Constitution.
I did not insinuate that it wasn't. I'm just saying if you're asking me to behave in a certain way, I just have to also behave.
Actually,
within
I'm not
laws.
asking you. I'm holding you to that standard.
Okay.
I'm demanding that you, my servant,
Uh-huh.
I demand that you, as my public servant,
Uh-huh.
and we, the people,
Uh-huh.
are the masters
Uh-huh.
of our public servants, and that includes you personally,
Uh-huh.
that you behave in the way which I have demanded.
So here's the thing.
No, there is no thing.
Okay. If you'd like
You
to have
can laugh and smirk or you like.
I'm not laughing.
But
or
there is
smirking,
no.
But I'm trying to engage in a friendly dialogue.
If you're gonna continue to belittle me the way that you are,
Enlighten me. How have I belittled you?
just by your condescending conduct right
Okay,
now.
I'm not trying to be condescending.
Well, then don't.
Okay.
Don't even try to be.
Okay.
Don't.
Well, it sounds like you're not appreciating my presence here. Would you like me to leave?
I didn't say yet, but I may
Okay.
dismiss you because of your condescending conduct.
Okay. Well, unless you need anything, and that was the purpose of my contact, and I've stayed here and engaged you in conversation just as a courtesy, right? But if you don't need anything, I've already verified
Well,
that you don't need anything.
I may just need something.
Okay, what do you need?
Tell me about those vehicles that are they running right now? Because
Which vehicles? This one right
the
here?
police vehicle, yes.
That one's not running. I got both keys in my pocket right now.
On my last visit here, I've observed 3 police cruisers
Uh-huh.
with no occupants in them, and they were running. Why?
So there's a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's just because we're making a quick stop. And actually, these police vehicles are designed to run in police safe mode. There's a lot of equipment that draws a lot of power over and above what a normal vehicle draws. So there's a computer in there, radio, obviously, internet connection, all sorts of things that draw more energy.
So it's only
And
so it's only the vehicles that are parked on the street, right? The rest of
not
the vehicles
necessarily, they could be parked
that are
in the lot.
equipped
Would you like me to answer
equally.
the question, then?
Yes, we are getting to your answer, and then between your answer, I'm asking you a follow-up question in relation to that. So, So it's just pertaining to the vehicles parked on the street?
No, it could be a vehicle parked in the parking lot. But again, the reason that they run is because the batteries can run down very quickly because of the equipment in the vehicle, as opposed to kind of your standard commercial vehicle, right?
Correct.
So what we
hold
need
on.
to do is
Pause.
to make sure.
Pause. So, on the follow-up of that question, the vehicles that are parked here in this lot
Yeah.
are not running. So they're not affected by the same equipment and low rundown battery
Well,
issue?
they're not being actively used right now. So, like, this vehicle is assigned to me over here, right? I've got equipment in there, right? And if I need to respond to a call, right, I might need to keep it running if I've got equipment in there active. Now, these vehicles are not currently being used as far as I know, so they're shut down, right? The battery's not going to drain. But again, if I need to rapidly respond to an emergency call, I want to make sure that the battery's not going to die while I'm in the office doing something. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. Like I said, they're actually designed. I can show you the button in there. There's
It
a little,
doesn't make
actually-
any sense because
Okay.
if you think I'm one of those foolish individuals, they're going to believe your
Again,
nonsense
I'm not
that
trying to belittle you, so
because
you're making
because the
insinuations
vehicle
about,
is going to be parked for an hour or two or maybe less or whatnot, and the battery is going to run down. I'm pretty sure for that particular equipment you have a backup battery in there, so don't.
Yeah, actually, there is a secondary battery in
Of
there
course.
because of the increased power draw.
Right.
This one right here is actually a hybrid, so it has even greater battery capacity.
So it seems to me that I think your sheriff department is in the habit of wasting a lot of resources taxpayers pay into running this place.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I think you mean because the vehicles are off and running. I've tried to explain.
And other issues.
Okay.
And other
well,
issues.
I don't know if I'm going to have time necessarily to address all your issues today. I do have other responsibilities.
Well, you did come out to see if I needed any help, correct?
Yes.
So make yourself available then.
Okay. So, like I said, I do have other responsibilities.
So now you're in the rush to go do something
Well,
else.
I'm not in a rush, but I took
Okay.
some time out of my day to see if you needed anything.
All right.
So if you had, for example, a criminal report to make, I might have called a deputy to come service that call. So as a supervisor, I have other responsibilities I need to attend to today, but because the lady at the front desk said there was somebody in the lobby, she asked me to come take care of it. I was the only one here.
Great.
Actually, they're calling me on the radio. 5303 affirmative, good point. So if you don't need anything else, I'm going to step away. All
I
right?
do. Have you ever violated anyone's constitutional rights?
No.
Have you ever been sued?
No.
Do you know anybody in your department that has violated constitutional rights of citizens?
Has violated Constitution. I've never directly observed anybody violate something constitutional.
No, I didn't say directly observed. Known, observed, or
If you'd like
otherwise.
to go on the state website, so there's actually the ethics bulletin, and they list all the people that are have any kind of sanctions or disciplinary action based on those type of concerns, and that's all very thoroughly documented.
But you will not really
Well,
relate
sir,
to me
I
or
don't
reveal
have
to
a-
me that you have any
I
personal
don't
knowledge.
have an eidetic memory, and so I don't remember every bulletin I've read. But I have not directly observed anybody in my office. I am aware that there are some people that have engaged in unlawful activities, and that happens in every profession, in all sectors, right? But
all
no, I
right.
have not observed anybody. And if were I to observe somebody violating somebody's rights, I would have a duty and obligation to intervene. which I would
I'll give you
absolutely
that much credit. So at least you've admitted slightly to cops violating
do.
constitutional
Well, I
rights
don't think
and
there's
committing
I
crimes.
don't think there's any dispute that people do commit crimes sometimes in every profession. I would say statistically we're probably better than average
Yes.
compared to other other professions, and I think we absolutely should be held to a higher standard. We have a lot of responsibility, and there's a lot of trust that the public places in us.
So if you see one of your subordinate deputies
It
violate
is
somebody's
my
constitutional
obligation
rights
and my duty
to arrest them.
prevent them.
and to arrest them,
But
because
if-
that's a crime.
So, in the case of somebody internally committing a crime, we would have an outside agency investigate that and make that arrest because of the inherent conflict.
Are you not aware of statutory law of you
So,
intervening?
I have a duty to intervene. Yes, absolutely, but I would
Right.
not personally be the one to make that arrest.
So if you personally witness one of your subordinate deputies commit a
I
state
would not allow
crime,
that to happen.
you are not going to arrest them on the spot. I didn't say you're going to allow them. They may just do it on their own because criminals usually do not obey law, right? They don't even listen to authority. That's why they're criminals. They commit crimes. They break the law willingly and sometimes knowingly and intentionally. So the question is, if you are to witness one of your subordinate deputies
Yep.
violate state law,
Uh-huh.
Are you going to arrest them on the spot?
I would physically intervene, and then I would call a separate agency to come and investigate that because of the inherent conflict of interest.
So what you're telling me is that you do not either have the power to arrest them, or you are not willing to uphold
No,
the
what I'm
state's
saying
law
is there's a
in your
policy
duties.
and a procedure that requires an outside agency come and investigate due to the inherent conflict of interest. But I would absolutely initiate.
What are
that
you talking
investigation.
about? Are
Well-
you not a police officer? Are you not law enforcement?
Well, of course I am.
So
But
if you see
again,
an individual, regardless of his rank, status, employment, commit a state crime,
yeah.
you're not going to arrest him?
Well, like I said, I would physically intervene. I would make the situation
Intervene
safe,
for what purpose?
And then I would have an outside agency come in and investigate that.
But it is your duty to enforce the
yeah,
law.
well, and by intervening, I'm making sure that any potential criminal activity is stopping.
And your
then I'm
duties
having
is to
another
arrest the violators of law.
No, I'm having somebody else come and investigate it. Somebody who's going to be potentially
Who?
more impartial.
You?
What do you
Some
mean?
outside agency?
Yeah. So
We've
maybe
investigated
Oregon State
ourselves and
Police
found no
or-
wrongdoing?
Say again?
Criminals investigated themselves and found no
I'm
wrongdoing?
going to give you one more question because I do have limited amount of time today.
That
So
was
do
my...
you have any other questions?
Yes. How
Sure.
many times have you allowed subordinate deputies to get away with criminal conduct?
0.
How about yourself?
I have never committed a crime.
That anybody has witnessed, yes?
No, I've committed no crimes, sir.
All right. Well, I gotta check you. I gotta check you.
You're allowed to ask.
Yes, right.
All right, I'm gonna take my leave now.
Okay. You do that.
You have a better day. Be safe.
I'm always having a great day.
All right.